Imagine a boy from a remote village who toils in the fields for 17 hours a day just to earn a single meal. Now, imagine that same boy growing up to build a global business empire worth trillions. This isn't fiction. This is the real-life story of Chung Ju-Yung, the legendary founder of Hyundai. Born in 1915 in a poverty-stricken Korean village, Chung initially dreamed of becoming a schoolteacher, but his family's crippling poverty cut his education short. Day after day, he labored in the mud. Yet no matter how hard they worked, they still faced constant shortages of food and medicine. Everything changed when Chung traveled to a nearby city to sell wood. There, he saw people enjoying comfortable lives without the back-breaking agony of farm work. Frustrated and eager for a better future, 16-year-old Chung made a daring choice. He decided to run away. Alongside a friend, he walked over 160 kilometers to find work as a construction laborer. For the first time, he tasted the freedom of earning his own living. But it lasted only 2 months before his desperate father tracked him down and dragged him home. Over the next couple of years, Chung tried to run away 2 more times. Every single time, his father caught him. Finally, in 1934, at the age of 18, Chung escaped for the 4th and final time. He reached Seoul, and there was no looking back. In Seoul, Chung took whatever work he could find, eventually landing a job as a delivery boy at a local rice store. His relentless work ethic so impressed the owner that within 6 months, Chung was promoted to manager. By 1937, the owner fell seriously ill and made a shocking decision. He handed the entire business over to the 22-year-old Chung. Just as Chung began tasting true success, World War II disrupted everything. Japan, which ruled Korea at the time, seized all private rice businesses to secure military supplies. In an instant, Chung's hard work was wiped out. Undeterred, Chung looked for an industry outside of military control. He took a massive loan and opened a car repair shop called the Ado Service Garage in 1940. But tragedy struck again. Just 1 month after opening, the garage burned to the ground. Facing heavy debt and furious customers, a normal person would have quit. Chung did the opposite. He took out another loan, built an even better garage, and pivoted his business strategy to speed. Where his competitors took 20 days to repair a vehicle, Chung's garage did it in 5. His reputation exploded. By 1943, his shop employed 80 people. But then, disaster struck a 3rd time. The Japanese military seized his garage and merged it with a steel plant for the war effort. Once again, Chung was stripped of everything and forced back to his village. When World War II ended, Japan's rule over Korea finally collapsed. Seizing the moment, Chung returned to Seoul in 1946 and restarted his repair business under a new name, Hyundai Auto Service. Hyundai, meaning modern. While fixing cars, Chung noticed a massive boom in post-war construction, particularly from the U.S. military. Though he had zero formal training in engineering, he remembered his days as a teenage construction laborer. At age 31, he founded the Hyundai Civil Works Company. Then came June 1950. The Korean War broke out. As North Korean troops advanced on Seoul, Chung had to abandon his business yet again, escaping south to Busan with only his savings. But even amidst active warfare, Chung saw opportunity. The U.S. military desperately needed tents, bridges, and headquarters built overnight. They didn't care about price. They cared about speed and reliability. Chung adopted a strict corporate motto, "Can do." If the price was right, they took the job. Even when faced with severe supply shortages and financial losses, once Chung gave his word, he never abandoned a project. This absolute reliability earned him the trust of both the U.S. military and the South Korean government. When the war ended, Hyundai became the primary force rebuilding South Korea, constructing the nation's largest dams, bridges, and the historic Gyeongbu Expressway. By the late 1960s, Chung was a highly successful construction tycoon in his 50s. But he wasn't satisfied. He famously said that since he had built the nation's roads, it was time to build the cars to run on them. In 1967, he established the Hyundai Motor Company. After a brief stint assembling cars for Ford, Chung decided Hyundai needed to create its own vehicle from scratch. Industry giants like GM and Volkswagen laughed at him and refused to share their manufacturing technology. Finally, Japan's Mitsubishi agreed to partner with them. In 1976, Hyundai launched South Korea's first mass-produced car, the Hyundai Pony. Domestically, it was a massive hit, capturing 60% of the market. Globally, however, it was a total disaster. The quality was terrible. The paint peeled in the heat, and the engines constantly broke down. For 7 straight years, the automotive division bled money. Advisors and board members begged Chung to shut the car company down before it bankrupted the entire Hyundai empire. Chung's response shocked everyone. Instead of closing down, he ordered the construction of a massive new factory capable of producing 300,000 cars a year, nearly 10 times the size of the entire South Korean car market at the time. It looked like financial suicide, but Chung saw what others didn't. He knew the South Korean economy was booming and a new middle class was emerging. More importantly, he was designing a car specifically to export to the toughest market in the world, the United States. In 1982, Hyundai launched the heavily upgraded Pony 2, fixing the quality issues of the past. It became an instant success across Canada, Africa, and Latin America, finally making the car division profitable. But the real test was the USA. When Hyundai analyzed the American market, they realized they couldn't compete with domestic muscle cars or Japan's mid-size sedans. Instead, they spotted an entirely untouched niche, the subcompact budget market. In 1986, Hyundai introduced the Hyundai Excel to America. Their strategy was brilliant and disruptive. They offered a brand new car for the price of a used second-hand car, backed by an unprecedented 5-year warranty. The American consumer response was overwhelming. Buyers who were looking for cheap, used vehicles flooded Hyundai dealerships instead. In its very first year, Hyundai sold an astonishing 170,000 Excels in the US. By 1987, that number jumped to 260,000, making the Excel the top-selling imported car in America. It was an unprecedented achievement in automotive history. That same year, at the age of 72, the boy who once ran away from a farm to escape starvation officially retired as the honorary chairman of Hyundai. Today, Hyundai is the 3rd largest automaker on the planet, but its impact goes far beyond cars. The Hyundai Group encompasses 42 companies, including Hyundai Heavy Industries, the largest shipbuilding company in the world, which single-handedly propelled South Korea ahead of Japan in global maritime manufacturing. For South Korea, Hyundai is not just a brand. It is the economic engine that dragged a war-torn country out of poverty and onto the global stage. And it all started with one runaway teenager who had no food, no money, and no education, but possessed an unstoppable can-do spirit.